and welcome.
Yeah, man.
Got me on
Look,
my
he said go.
I was all ready to go.
What part of go did I miss?
Come on, YouTube. Here we go. Okay, it's muted. I just wanted to make sure I had it muted in the background. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to ejuices.com live. My name is Tina. I am your social media guru for ejuices.com. And with me today, I have Ben and Tyler from Vape Craft. Hello, you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Oh.
So,
how's it going?
It's good. And I know that Tyler's out there in sunny California, and Ben, you're out in Texas right now, correct?
I am.
Everybody's west coasting, southwesting it a little bit over here. So we've got a lot of special stuff for you guys today, but we are doing another Ask the Juice Maker segment because of how popular it was. So if any of you guys have any questions for an e-juice manufacturer, whether it's the manufacturing process, the branding process, any strategies that they have in mind, advocacy, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the live chat, and we will ask them in real time to our guests. So Tyler and Ben, you guys are supplying us with some awesome items for the giveaway, which we'll be having at 7:25 tonight, a little bit earlier than usual, Pacific Standard Time, 7:25. So why don't you, I'm going to go ahead and read off what those giveaway items are. And I know that Tyler, you have a couple of bottles on you. So if you want to hold them up.
Yeah, I'll be showing them as you read them out.
Awesome. So first we have our first place winner. We're going to have 3 winners tonight. Our first place winner is going to receive a bottle of liquid gold from Paradise Ventures, a 120 milliliter one. Nice. And then they're also going to receive Sugar Melon from their budget collection.
Yeah, I don't have that one here, but.
And then third and finally, you guys are going to get some Nick Salts from their Salt King collection. We're doing the 30 milliliter bottles of that as well. And you guys can choose out of the 3 flavors that they have, which one you prefer. So that's first place winner. Second place winner is going to receive Audrey from their Bombshell collection. So Audrey Hepburn.
Yep, delicious flavor.
Nice lemon tart flavor. And then we've got 30 Love from the budget collection, which is also going to be tossed in.
Yep, that'll be in there.
And then finally, again, another Nick Salt of your choice out of the flavors that they have for winner number 2. And then finally, winner number 3 will be receiving Marilyn from the Bombshell collection, Marilyn Monroe, a girl. And then Cafe Mocha from the budget collection. And finally, the Nick Salts from their Salt Kings collection of your choice. So 3 winners. We're going to be selecting it at 7:25, like I said, you guys, which is a little bit earlier. Our show is actually going to be running from 6 to 7:30 today. So we're going to be doing that giveaway at 7:25. One more thing to note, you guys, before we get into all the good stuff with Tyler and Ben here. You must be present in the chat at the time of drawing. So if we draw and you're not there at 7:25 and you're not there in the chat to say, hey, I'm here, then we have to invalidate your entry. So make sure that if you enter the giveaway, you're in the chat around 7:20 to 7:25-ish. So I could go on for days and days and days about these giveaway items, but instead, I think I'm going to go ahead and roll that intro. All right, you guys, welcome back. I'm here with Tyler and Ben from Vape Craft.
How's it going?
ejuices.com live. Thank you guys so much for joining. So as I said before, maybe if you guys didn't catch the intro, Tyler's out in sunny Southern California and Ben's currently out in Texas right now handling some business. So they're both very gracious to come and share their time with us on this show. So you guys, tell us a little bit about yourselves and a little bit about Vape Craft and your lines.
Well, obviously, Vape Craft's been around for a couple of years now. We came on we started out as Vapers Anonymous was one of our main lines. It was, a lot of the reason behind um, vaping for a lot of people is the fact that it can help them stop smoking. So it's kind of a play on the whole AA, but for Vapers Anonymous type thing. But we also know that a lot of people in the industry were overcharging, and a lot of our users, at the end user, can't afford that super, super high, like at the time, $30 for a 30 or whatever ridiculous number it was. So we kind of did it in a way where we did our 120s, we did them a lower price. That way it was accessible to more people. So been around for a little while now, got to see the industry really evolve, see it come into play as far as a lot of the professionalism that came in. It's an exciting time in our industry.
Definitely. And what about you, Ben? How did you get into vaping? How did you get into the whole space of vaping and the industry?
My partner had been in it since the beginning. He had a different company. So we were kind of looking at doing something different. And he's like, hey, what do you think about this industry? What do you think about the vape industry? Did a little research. Obviously, there's a lot of growth potential there. And again, really like to do something where you can feel proud about what you do. Like, we're not selling a product, especially on the wholesale side of it. We don't sell a product where it's trying to talk grandma out of her life savings for something she doesn't need. It's something where we can all, mutually benefit from. The end user gets a product that they really like. They get a great value. It's a good quality product. It's ISO certified clean room, so we know our industry has moved away from the whole bathtub juice.
Oh yes.
Where we get to cross our fingers. Is there something in our juice? Now it's all FDA compliant and a much better quality juice for the end consumer. So I really liked being involved with that. It's something where when I tell my kids they're going to work, you can be proud about going to work and working in this industry. So, which you can't say for a lot of your jobs. Plus I like what I do, so it's a lot of fun.
It's true. Most people tend to tolerate what they do, but I've found that a lot of people in this industry, it's not just because you're doing something good for other people, but it's because they're also passionate about doing it themselves.
Yep.
That I really find that it's not, it's not like a tolerate my job sort of situation. It's really enjoyable for most people. And it seems like it's enjoyable for Tyler. Tyler, tell me a little bit about you, how you got into vape and how you ended up with Vape Craft.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, vaping actually did help me quit smoking cigarettes recreationally. And, still sometimes I'll slip here and there, but, kind of converting to vaping has really helped me and it's kept my body more healthy. And that's ultimately what everybody wants to do. I found Ben about a year ago when they were kind of beginning in the wholesale side of it. So the B2B aspect. And we've just kind of grown it from there ever since. And it's, grown beyond just like a work relationship to a good friendship. And he's allowed me to be a part a little bit of the creative process for some of the new products that we've got. And so it's been a really fun ride. It's been a lot of work, but the vape industry is super cool, super relaxed. I haven't really met anybody that I didn't like in the industry so far. So definitely consider myself lucky. So.
Yeah, I would say so. And it sounds like you also kind of enjoy the camaraderie and like the community of it, which is that people are here and they're passionate about it for a reason. So that's awesome that you guys kind of came together and found each other and now you're with Vape Craft and everything. So glad to hear it. When did you end up starting your lines and your brands? Did they kind of come on all at once or did they kind of filter in as needed?
I think it was a good combination of both. We have six lines now, 7 lines. Obviously, everything prior to August 16th, as everybody in the industry had to make sure and get everything on prior to August 16th for the compliance aspect. I think it's something that's kind of evolved as we went. We're not really a hype juice. We don't have any one of those like 1 or 2 flavor lines where it was a cool juice to have. It had some cool branding behind it. What was inside was we were more of a all-day vape kind of company, like you're going to be there for a while. So we have a lot of those budget flavors, which are your single flavor juice line, your strawberry milk, blueberry custard, strawberry lemonade, those type of things, which that's no matter what, everybody likes strawberries, by and large. Everybody likes watermelon by and large. So you have those, real simple, daily, nothing too crazy vapes. But then we also, through market research, through talking to the industries, found some really cool flavors that there was a need for, or at least a demand. So we were able to do a little research, take it to the market. We go to a vape show called VSE, where we meet directly with distributors and stuff like that. Get roasted a lot of constructive criticism, but we learn a lot at those. So we have a lot of feedback that was allowing us to develop our lines accordingly. To you don't want to, the old Ford thing where like the customer can have any color they want as long as it's black.
Yeah.
We kind of did it the other direction where it was through our core competencies, but what sounds good to you? What can we make that would be good for you? What tastes good to you guys? And if it doesn't work, it went away. We'll bring back in. We were blessed that we went ahead and had the foresight to do a lot of things prior to that deadline so that we can still have a little bit of flexibility to, give a product that people want for sustainability, for all day vape, quality. You're not going to get tired of it when that certain one flavor gets, a little bit like, hey, let's try something new. Well, we got something else. Which I think is good for sustainability, but for also making sure that no matter what you want, we have it, and we have a quality one. So
I agree. I would say that variety and the pricing is the biggest thing in sustainability for sure, especially in vape, because it's always, what can we do? And people are always like, make your prices better. So as long as you're
100%.
And giving the people what they want and making it a reasonable price, I feel like that's the tenets of success in this industry for sure. So. Now you mentioned being compliant earlier and kind of like the August date coming up with that. And we actually had someone in the live chat ask a question about that. So Tyler Seifert wants to know, what does the FDA require of an e-juice to be compliant?
A lot. If you're truly compliant, a lot. A lot of it, I have younger kids. A lot of the new compliance stuff that came along, we're actually really happy that it's there. As a company, as it's there, as an individual, I'm happy that it's there. Certain things like don't sell it to minors. I wouldn't want my 13-year, 14-year-old, child deciding that for the rest of their life they're going to vape. I'm not old enough for that. So to require a juice company or a shop to say, are you old enough to buy this product? Great compliance. There are certain things on our side as a manufacturer, August 18, 2016, had to be on the market prior to them. Yeah. We have to put special labeling on there in order to make sure, kind of similar to, you're going to see this, everybody's juice companies, you're going to see this coming up here in the next couple months here. You're going to have a third of the label has to have that big, ugly, tobacco warning that says this is horrible for you. Yeah.
So many bottles.
Yeah, you're going to start seeing it. We're actually going to start, because we're very, we work directly with the FDA on a lot of our compliance stuff as a manufacturer, where we've been on the phone directly with them. A lot of times we helped with figuring out what's the best way to do it. Where I've had conference calls with the FDA where, they'll kind of pass the phone around their little conference room, like, what do you, how about this, guys? Does it say, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Because I think it was one of those things where they passed a bunch of legislation because it sounded good. It sounded like, hey, we're going to get votes. Let's pass this. And then when it came to implementing it, how do we do this? So I think there is still a lot of give and take that's going to come over the course of the next couple of years as they find things that are good. You guys want to know what's in your juice. You want to know that there's not carcinogens and other crap that shouldn't be in your juice. We as a company should be required to show that that's not in there. That's good compliance. Finding out who you sell it to, that's good compliance. Don't give away stuff that's not manufactured in an ISO certified clean room. That's good compliance. All these things are coming. So that's good that we as a company are required to do that. Bad things is requiring testing that's $1 million per SKU per flavor that puts an entire industry out. And then puts everybody back into cigarettes because now they can't vape, so they need their nicotine somewhere. So I can't vape, well, I'm going to pick up my cigarette again. That's bad compliance. So there's a lot of give and take that's coming, but it's a daily thing. Every day we have new things that we're learning, new interpretations, because they don't really even know. The FDA really has no clue right now on a lot of levels of exactly what they're going to do. Even some of the testing that when we sent it off to the lab, they're like, well, we're going to do it based off of a pharmaceutical food grade one because we have no actual guidelines for what vape is supposed to be. So we figure if it's good enough for, you know, medicine and food, like it's not going to be worse than that. So that'll be our par. And then if there's, you know, wiggle room there, great. So there's for us as a company, there's a lot to do. And a lot of companies aren't doing it, which is unfortunate. You know, it just is what it is, part of the industry.
I know. And I think, and I've discussed this a couple times on the show with a few other people, I think that there will eventually be a funnel because of that compliance. But at the same time, it is good because we are going to be getting that quality and the same thing that people will actually know what they're vaping. There will be that level of comfort there for people who are buying the products. I know a lot of people, it's like, what am I putting in my body? And of course, it's a much better alternative to a lot of other nasty habits. But yeah,
one of those good things is that the smart companies are doing in our industry. We're trying to do, and we really highly recommend it to a lot of our competitors too. Let's be involved in it. Be proactively going out to the FDA and having a voice in the compliance, offering what you can and can't do. That way we have a voice in it because we know what's feasible, what can work. We're close with the product. So let's have a voice, because if we don't have a voice, they're going to just legislate us no matter what. Yep. So we might as well actively go out and say, this is how it would work. What do you guys think? You know, and then kind of that back and forth, which we've already seen has paid huge dividends because we're all still a business, and, you know, August is rolling up here in 2018 and we thought we were gone. So, you know, it's, as long as we're actively doing what we should be doing, the good companies will be there, the good products will be on the, you know, market, and our, you know, fellow vapors will have a product that we can be proud that you're vaping. We can be, you know, not concerned with someone getting hurt, which is, nobody wants that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, you know, there's a lot even going on right now at this moment. I know that flavor ban came in or whatever, where people, you know, are not able to use the sweeteners and stuff. We actually had someone in the chat ask about that as well. Do you think that this new rule will affect the flavor of your guys' e-juice, or will it really affect the sales of a lot of companies' e-juice? Because clearly it's probably going to throw off the flavor a little bit. You're going to have to find some alternative for that if it does go through.
I think it will obviously affect some companies that were heavily into the, you know, the additives. A lot of our stuff was done through, for us as a company, we did it through the natural version, which hurt our margins. But, you know, we wanted to make sure it was a quality product to start with, such as, you know, the new thing right now is, you know, nic salts. 2 years ago, one of our, you know, constructive criticisms that we received was that our nicotine was a harsh hit, that you had that, you know, that throat hit. For 2 years now, we've been manufacturing with nic salts. That's the nicotine that we use is a nic salt. We've been doing this for 2 years. So I think companies that have taken the time to find a good alternative, a healthy alternative, will be fine. I think the companies that just wanted to be a hype juice, throw a bunch of sweetener in here, throw it out there, and let's see what sticks, they're going to have to adjust. And, you know, this industry is about adjusting. If you don't adjust, you're going to go the way of the dinosaur. So
yeah,
I don't think it's going to really destroy the industry. I think there will just be some adjustments, you know, and taste adjustments too.
Awesome. So Bearded Gen Society, I hope that answered your question on that one. And, you know, I noticed that the nic salts, I mean, they've been around, but they're like really, really coming under. And, you know, I see Tyler over there with his closed system over there. You got nic salts in there?
It's an open system, but yeah, it does have nic salt. It actually has some of ours, the raspberry lemonade menthol.
Ooh, okay. What are the other nic salt flavors, by the way? Because I know I listed the flavors for the giveaway of the bottles, but the actual nic salt flavors.
We have a lemon bar and a chocolate coffee, so like a mocha.
Ooh.
Yeah, both are very good.
Very nice. So I'm actually going to take a moment to reiterate because we had like a ton of people come into the chat before the beginning of this show. So you guys, we are actually hosting a giveaway. Our show is going to run a little bit shorter than it normally does tonight. We're trying a new 6 to 7:30 thing to see, just because we realized 2 hours was a really long time for you guys. So if you guys haven't joined the giveaway already, the link is underneath the video, and I'll also be dropping into the chat, but you're definitely going to want to join that giveaway. I'll reiterate what you're going to win in that giveaway, but we will be announcing the winner between 7:20 to 7:25. So make sure that you are in the chat here if you did join the giveaway, because we won't be able to consider your entry valid if you are not here in the chat at the time that we're drawing the winners. So make sure that you're in the chat between 7:20 to 7:25. That's when we're going to be pulling it, so about an hour from now. And in that giveaway, I'm going to reiterate real quick for everyone who's watching. You guys are going to receive, so we're going to have 3 winners, and each winner is going to receive 3 items. Winner number 1 is going to receive Liquid Gold by Paradise, from their Paradise Ventures line. 120 milliliter bottle. Look at that. Nice right there. Liquid gold. Literally, like the cover of it looks like liquid gold.
Great flavor. Great flavor.
And then you're also going to get Sugar Melon, which is another flavor off of their line, one of their lines. And then you're going to get a 30 milliliter bottle from their Salt Kings collection in those flavors, either one of the flavors that Tyler just mentioned. Winner number 2 is going to receive Audrey from their Bombshell line, as well as there's Audrey Hepburn, you know, all-time beauty. And then 30 Love, another flavor out of one of their other lines. And then finally, a 30 milliliter bottle from their Salt Kings collection. And third place is going to receive Marilyn from their Bombshell collection, Marilyn Monroe. And then Cafe Mocha from their Budget collection, and a Salt King bottle, 30 milliliter of your choice. So those are the 3 prizes for our 3 winners. And again, I will be drawing those winners around 7:20 to 7:25-ish. So could you actually, Tyler, could you actually walk us through all of the lines that you guys have, the different names of them for everyone who's interested, so we can link them up, the ones that we carry on our site?
So we have 60 plus registered flavors total. We've got about 45 flavors on what we call our budget line. It's still 70/30 VGPG juice, you know, USP grade. Like Ben said, for the last few years, we've been using salt-based nicotine for all of our juice. Those flavors are great. A little more straight flavor profiles. And then we have 16, 17 premium flavors between 3 lines for that. And one's called the Bombshell, one is called the Black Label line, and one is just the high class premium line. And that's like 3 flavors. And between the 17, I've got about 5 that are my favorite, but they all do really well. And then with the stuff that we just partnered with Cash Money Records, that's based off of their Stunna Vodka brand. They wanted to make a vape juice line for it. So we've got 2 flavors in that, and those come in the 120 ml bottles. And then we have the Salt King line, and that's the 3 flavor salt concentrate.
Wow, so you guys have a ton of collections. I'm going to go ahead in the chat and link to the collections out of those that we sell on ejuices.com. I know we sell like 6 lines or something from you guys. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about the Bombshell line, because that's the one that I've actually tried some flavors off of. How did you guys come up with the concept of like the iconic old like beauties and all that stuff? I love the aesthetic of it personally.
That was right before August of 2016. I'm like, well, we got to come up with something different here. And as with probably every company at that time, we were insanely busy. And my partner was like, we're not doing any more lines. It's not happening. We're too busy. We're not doing it. So Tara, one of our, she helps run our office. She's like, I'm going to do it on my own. So she came up with this cool little label, and I was like, oh, it's cool. So let's go talk to Dan. And he's like, oh, all right, fine. It looks really cool. I can't argue with it. So we actually worked with a couple of in-house flavors. We also worked with some out, got to throw them out there, California Vape Kitchen. Worked with them. to develop a couple of the flavors, and it's done really well for us. Obviously the iconic aspect of Maryland and Audrey and stuff like that, but also like the flavor on the inside. At the end of the day, I can get you to buy the juice based off of what's on the outside, but you're not going to come back if it's not good.
Yeah.
For sure. You'll buy it once, you'll vape it a couple times, it'll sit on your shelf, you'll be mad because you didn't like it and you aren't going to buy anything else from me. So we put as much, if not more, work onto what's on the inside of the bottle than we do that's on the outside of it. So like the Audrey, that lemon bar, put that up against some of those other iconic lemon bars that are out there. And we always win, always, as far as the taste test against it, because it's a spot on flavor. So it was one of those, we aren't going to do it. It's too much work.
Yeah.
Get it. And,
behold.
Yeah. So everything, just all of our lines, that's the cool thing about it, is they all have a really cool story behind like why they came about. Like Tyler was starting to mention the Stunna stuff, Cash Money Records, Birdman getting behind it. Who else in the industry can say they've got Cash Money Records? Birdman, Nicki Minaj, Drake.
Birdman, like 2006, I Am the Birdman rapper?
Yeah. Or,
really?
Yeah, so Cash Money Records is, we're partnered with them on that line. So you're going to start seeing it in all their social media posts, product placement in the videos, stuff like that. When we were at the show back in Brooklyn, got to meet with them. They were showing me pictures of like skate decks and bicycles and Stunna bicycles like they're going to be given away. And yeah, so there's some really cool stuff behind it. So like literally all of our lines, like there's some kind of it's not just a cool little like cartoon character on the front with some so juice. Like there's some cool lines with some cool stories, and it's a company that actually cares about the industry, cares about the people in the industry, cares about our end consumer. Takes a lot of time to advocate for the industry. So it's fun.
It's fun. It's definitely fun. It's a lifestyle, though. I've noticed I didn't even really know too much about advocacy myself before I started in on this live show. And we actually have someone in the chat. Her name's Christine. She used to host a couple of these with me back in the day when we first started. And she's got like this Very Vocal Vapors website, veryvocalvapors.org. And she takes people's videos that they create and sends them to their local representatives, because she figured that, it's better to see someone's face and hear their voice when you're talking about advocacy versus like a letter or something. But through a lot of, guests that we've had and stuff, it's become like a huge topic that we talk about on this show, and actually a huge topic just for me. We're going to be doing I'm actually going to announce it now. I don't have an official date on it, you guys, but for everyone who's watching, we're going to be doing a vape for advocacy show where I'm going to be vaping like a bunch of really nasty flavors like cheeseburger and fish head every time someone donates it. So that's coming up in like May.
You're getting a raise for that, right?
Suffer for the cause, yes. So, but that actually leads me kind of into my next question. What are your guys' thoughts on advocacy, big groups of advocacy like CASA versus kind of like people individually advocating themselves, and what we can be doing as individuals and as companies to help move this along a little bit, especially with August coming up so quickly?
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where nothing is bad, the more is better. We're with at least 6 or 7 different advocacy groups that we're actively participants in. If you go to our website, you can check the bottom of it. We list a lot of the biggest ones there. We actively participate in them. We're, like I was mentioning earlier, we're actively speak directly with the FDA to try and have a voice in like the interpretation of how we're supposed to do things. Yep. So I think it's one of those things that every company should be doing. We should all be working together. At the time of the Wild West, where it's everybody for themselves, let's just make as much money as we can and get in and get out. Like, it's not that anymore. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like it's starting to change a little bit, as they start to buy in. But obviously, Big Tobacco wasn't super thrilled with our industry because you're taking away their business. Now that they're starting to buy in, you don't have that quite as much, but it's still, when you have the billions and billions that big tobacco has, nobody in our industry, even the biggest ones in our industry, are not that big. So it really comes down to, we have to work together. We have to make sure that we have a voice in the compliance. We have to regulate ourselves. Any industry that doesn't regulate themselves will get regulated, and by someone who doesn't know what the industry is about or anything about it. So they will just regulate them out of existence. For us, if we can work together as different companies, quit trying to be, it's not about individuals anymore. The only thing that's good for the individual side is, like, obviously everyone has an individual voice in addition to their company. So, Ben has a voice as well. So Ben is advocate. I'm always out there advocating. I go to the shows. I talk to the FDA, on a personal level. So whether you're owner of a vape company or whether you just like to vape, you have a voice. You should be using your voice to say, like, this helped me. That was one of the reasoning. If you read the decision for why they moved the date from 2018 to 2022, one of the reasons that they used is, we're trying to get people to stop smoking. This might actually have some kind of a help, so we need to study this more. They're already looking at this like, there's something good here. What is it? Right. The more we pointed out to them, the more times they hear, I used to smoke, I don't smoke. I went from vape, one cigarette where I got to vape a whole 120 to get the same amount of nicotine. Now I vape it, I'm on a 3. I have no carcinogens. I don't smoke anymore. I don't stink anymore. I smell delicious.
Like a strawberry in the sun.
Strawberry, the more they hear that from that end consumer, the more that person who wants your vote isn't going to put a law in place that takes away this product from you. That doesn't put a regulation in place that takes your favorite juice away because that manufacturer doesn't have $1 billion to comply with it. So it's a all hands on deck compliance advocacy situation right now for the next several years. Whether you're a tiny little, 2-line juice company, whether you're a monster, ejuice.com company, whether you're just, Joe who likes to vape, say something. The more we say something, the better it's going to be for our industry and for us as an individual.
One thing that I think is important about the advocacy thing too is just because on a global scale, there's just so many inconsistencies with it. Like, we can't even, send our juice to certain countries. And I mean, in America, as long as we can start here and, with like Svada and Kasai, like you were saying, every voice matters at this point, but it would just be really nice to get consistency between all regulatory agencies beyond just FDA. But it's going to be a while before that happens.
Baby steps, right? Especially with how young the industry is and everything. It's funny how young it is, and yet that's how you know that there really is something to it, because it is so young and it's already kicked up so much buzz, if you will. Like, people are already so focused on trying to shut it down and talking about it and stuff that it's already got so many eyes on it, and it's really been popularized for the past 5 or 6 years, really. We've got some questions actually in the live chat, so I'm just gonna go. Bearded Gen Society asked if you guys believe that big tobacco is a force behind the new FDA stink about flavors and sweeteners.
I mean, 100% they're behind a lot of our regulations. That's, we're the little guys that just came in and took a big piece of their pie. Yeah, of course they're behind it. That's 100% true. I think that they have started to swing, even while I'm here in Texas, that's one of the companies I met with, was bought by Big Tobacco. I think they are starting to see this industry is not going away. So rather than try and regulate them out, which was what we weren't successful at, well, we'll just start buying into it. So I think they're going to back off a little bit. But yeah, 100%, when you're the big boy in the street and you have all the money and then somebody starts taking it from you, you try and push them away. So unfortunately for them, it was a much better quality product, much better for quality of life. You can stop doing something, 1 cigarette. That's all it takes, 1 cigarette, and you got to vape a whole 120 to get the same amount of nicotine in your system, and all the other little, why do you smoke? People smoke because they need their nicotine. They don't smoke because they like the taste of it, generally. They don't smoke because they like the smoky aspect of it. They vote because I need my fix. I need my nicotine. Well, here's a way for you to get that nicotine without any of the bad carcinogens, without any of the things that kill you. So it's a much, much healthier alternative, but we're taking your paycheck from you if you're big tobacco. So yeah, like, let's get rid of them. Let's call our congressman that we have on payroll and say, get rid of these guys. Unfortunately, there's a lot of us, and they couldn't do it. So
we're still here. Here
yep.
we are on a live show talking about it.
Right? Yep.
You know, I think some credit needs to go to Big Pharma too, just as a side note, just because, you know, vaping's taken away from Chantix and Nicorette and some of these things that they want to continue to make money off of, that vaping can very easily replace.
That's actually really interesting. I don't think I've heard anybody bring that up yet. And that's something that I guess a lot of people wouldn't even think of, you know, like everybody's, oh, FDA, but it's true. That's something that you would not even think of, that there's pharmaceutical brands that are out there running on people trying to quit. Analogs. That's actually never, that's a really, really insightful thing, Tyler. I've never heard anyone say that. I want to get a little bit more into advocacy chat later on as well, but we've got some more questions in the live chat that are kind of like brand related, so I'm going to shift it back for a moment. And I know that you already said these, Tyler, but if you could reiterate a few. We had someone in the chat who popped in a little bit later. Her name's Christine, and she said, what are some of the top selling flavors at Vape Craft? She's really interested. She's hearing good things. She wants to try you guys out.
All right. Well, obviously, Christine, I'd like to hear more about what type of juices you like to vape on. But my favorites are the Audrey from our Bombshell line, the Guilty Pleasure from our High Class Premium line. That's a honeysuckle pear key lime flavor that's really, really bomb.
Delicious.
And then the Liquid Gold from our partnership with Birdman and Cash Money Records is a pear mango watermelon that is pretty much an all-day vape for me. So,
ooh, I'm gonna have to try that one. That's delicious. I love the fruity ones.
OMG is so good. That's another one. If you like a desserty flavor, OMG so good. That's another. That's.
I like the name. Just the name caught me.
Yep.
That's the kind of thing I'd text to my friend. I'd be like, OMG is so good. Like, now I gotta try it. Oh, Ben, you brought up earlier kind of like safety and sterile environments and stuff. And I know that tends to be a concern of kind of like a general audience of people who maybe aren't as in depth into the industry. So will you guys let our viewers know about your manufacturing process, your facility, if you're ISO certified, what level, and kind of like the precautions that you guys take, specifically Vape Craft, because every company is a little different in the way they do it.
So it's not a requirement, but it's one of those things that we as a company implemented basically as soon as we open our doors. We manufacture all of our juice in an ISO certified clean room, which basically, for those who don't know what that means, is whenever you've seen the show on TV where they're inside the controlled environment with the fans going and they got the marshmallow suit on and the mask and the hairnet, like, you know, just think that's what it looks like. So you got the spacemen in there in their outfits, you know, using the machine, putting it in, because it's very, very important. That was one of the things that was so bad about our industry is, you know, we get those calls where it was like, oh, look what I found in my juice today. Like, that's not what we want. So for us, it's all ISO certified. It's all super, super hygienic, clean environment. It's a clean room environment. You're not allowed, like we even have a dressing area. You go in, you get dressed, you put on your outfit, you look like a spaceman, then you can go into the clean room. If you don't look like that, you're not in there. So there's no hairs, there's no bugs, there's no, particles. It's all 100% clean. Obviously, not everyone in the industry does that. I think it's going to come around. GMP practices are going to be required somewhat soon. But that's the thing that you should look for in the companies that juice that you want to get. The good ones are manufactured it that way because they care what you are vaping on. They want to make sure when you pour something in your vape that it's exactly what you're expecting. It's PG, VG, nicotine. That's it.
Yeah.
No
that's it. Nothing else. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we don't want you finding any secret ingredients in the juice. So I have heard of that, and let's not find that.
God, I can't even imagine. See, I started vaping a little bit before I started working, and by the time I got here, all of them were like premium anyways. So I've never ran into something like that. I've always had, I was kind of late I was a late adopter, if you will. But yeah, I'm glad I never did though, because I might not have picked a bottle up again.
Yeah.
So we have someone in the chat asking, and I know we've got people kind of bopping in, so some of these might be repeat questions, but Justin Lyon says he's only been vaping for 3 weeks now and he is 19 days cigarette free. So first of all, congratulations, Justin. That is awesome.
Well done.
He says that he's tried 4 flavors so far out of everything that he's vaped, and he thinks that he likes fruity flavors. And out of your lines, what flavors would you recommend based on a fruity palette?
On the premium level, I'd go with Green Jacket or Guilty Pleasure for sure. Those are 2 really, really good fruit mixtures. A good little blend of, like just think a nice little fruity drink with a, umbrella in it. If you like a drink like that, or, like when the girls aren't looking, if it's okay for you to drink that, then you'll love it. If you want something that's a little bit, plainer, less to it, strawberry milk is a really popular one. Blueberry custard, super popular. But yeah, overall, I would Green Jacket or Guilty Pleasure. Those would be the 2 top ones. I don't know, Tyler, you agree with that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, both those are bomb. I would also throw in there Legacy 650. That's kind of a pina colada flavor with a little bit of strawberry. I love that one.
It's delicious.
Yeah, the Maryland, which one of the winners will get tonight, that's a strawberry marshmallow flavor, and it actually does have a marshmallow aftertaste, which is unique to like a strawberries and cream flavor, because you really do taste the difference. So I love her as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys for shedding that light. I hope that helped. We got a couple more questions in the chat. One is directed at me. What is my guilty pleasure based on your guys's? My guilty pleasure is mid-2000s trash TV. So that's my guilty pleasure,
Very nice, very nice.
Like,
Jerry.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Maury was like my life, dude. Maury, I was like, is he the
Maury,
father?
dude.
Like, I don't know.
You are the father.
Test.
I could go for days on Maury, but anyways, we got another question for you guys. What is the most difficult flavor out of all of your lines? Which is the most difficult to create?
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, that's a different question.
Yeah.
Difficult to create. Here's how I would answer that, because I don't think that any of them are, everyone's equally difficult, because you have to take, especially when you're talking premium ones, like a lot of things that sound good together, when you go to vape them, aren't necessarily good together. Or they're good, but you got to get the balances right. I think what is difficult is finding that, wow, that one. Our OMG So Good, that one, for example. Here's how, like, finding your wow is super hard, but that was one that was really an accident. It was one of our, guys in the lab was like, hey, do you mind if I'm stay extra and I mix some stuff together for me? And we're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Oh. All of a sudden, we have a flavor that by far outsells anything else we have. So I think it's the best way to answer that is not that like flavor creation is that difficult, because it's not. Find amazing flavors that everyone finds amazing. That is something that is really, really hard to do.
Yes. Yes. I think that's also a difficulty I feel like a lot of manufacturers have. You have to appeal to a general audience, but you also have to like find specific niches. Like if you've got a strawberry fan, you know that they're going to be like super critical on strawberry versus someone else who like hates strawberry, and you're trying to appeal to both. That's definitely got to be difficult.
That's one of those cool things that we do to test it. And one of the cool feedbacks we've gotten, we send out to YouTubers, YouTube reviewers, your influencers that everybody wants to know, like, hey, you try it, you be the crash test dummy, tell me if this is any good. We send stuff out to them all the time. Pretty much every flavor we have has gone out to as many people who want to try it as possible. And that is one of the feedbacks that we get is, I don't usually like, a strawberry vape, or I don't usually like a fruit vape. This is pretty good. that's when you know you've done okay. When somebody who doesn't usually like that type of a vape, but it's just trying, that's just on point. That's when you know you've got a good flavor.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. That's the test, the mass audience for sure. And I'm even like, I'm not too picky myself,
Yeah.
but I know some people in here who are like, they've got their like 3 and that's it, and they've got their 3 palate preferences, and anything beyond that, they're like, nope. And it sounds like you
Yep.
said earlier that you were kind of also hoping to create an environment for vapors where it was like they were able to go get a flavor that's pretty popular for a good price, that maybe not necessarily, it's not like the whole line revolves around blueberry custard, but you have a blueberry custard available. So
Yep.
I think the variety and the availability and the consistency, why everybody loves you in this chat. Somebody actually mentioned earlier, let's see if I can find, it was Ashton Ramirez, I want to say, was the one that said that you guys actually helped him kick analog. So thank you, Vape Craft, and Ashton Ramirez.
Nice.
You. How did you guys, so for all the people in the chat too, if you can go ahead and comment, just because I'm curious, and I'm sure that Vape Craft is curious, what makes an e-juice good to you? Like what do you consider, like what is it that makes it for you? Or even take it a step further, what is it about your all-day vape that keeps you coming back to that? Because I always think that's interesting to ask. But so
Yep.
I want to know, did you guys happen to kind of gear your, I mean, it seems like you did, but did you have it in mind when you planned these lines out? Do you have kind of like a target audience per line? Or is it more like some are generic and some are kind of more like, I'd say, for instance, like for me, I automatically, just because of the labeling and the branding of Bombshell, me and my friends were like, oh, this is so cool, versus like maybe like some other brand that I might not have noticed because it doesn't really fall into like my taste. So
I think it's a good mix of both. Obviously, we still have to stand out. Like, I have great juice, but you got to stand out from everybody else's. So the things on the outside, the label on the outside has to look fun. It has to be, when you're carrying it around and you show your friends, like, you don't want to be embarrassed about the thing that you're carrying around. You want it to be like for you, like, oh, look, it's got Maryland on it. That's so cool. Let me see that. Like, you want that to be the engagement that your end user has with their product. Because obviously vaping is not just about the taste. It's a lifestyle, like you were saying earlier. You're carrying around a bottle, you're sharing it, you're like, hey, check this out, look what I got today, let's try it out together. So you want something that's going to be really, really cool like that for your individual. So you have a lot of the labeling is obviously very diverse. The Stunna stuff, it's really like, here's the name of it, bright colors, flashy. Bombshell's that iconic one. There's times where we gotta, who's Audrey? Know who Audrey is? Okay. Audrey's a very, very famous actress.
Audrey's a babe. That's who she
yes. You'd be surprised. But then, or you got your black label, which just has yet another different, experience to it. What goes on the inside, that's where it really gets important. We wanted something for me, like, I get made fun of all this time. Like, Ben, what'd you have for dinner? I had chicken fingers. Oh, shocking. Like, I eat the same thing over and over again. Yeah, it's perfect. It's delicious. I know what I'm getting. It's good. But they make fun of me all the time, like, you got to try something different. So on that vape side, there's that person who's like, I don't want something weird. I don't want something unique. Just give me my strawberries. I'll be happy. Just give me strawberries. So we have them. And then there's the one who, wants to try something different, wants something more unique. So you have those as well. So I think it's good to have a good mix for everybody, so that no matter what they want, whether it's on, for the looks of it, but also for the taste of it, they have a nice little variety.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, so that's kind of how it is for me too. For a juice to kind of catch my eye, obviously it starts with the branding and the marketing and everything that goes behind it. But then, yeah, obviously flavor for me is really important. Cloud production, kind of more at the beginning of when I first started vaping, I really thought it was cool to be able to produce a lot of clouds. And so our 70-30 blend, is perfect for that. I don't really need more than that. A lot of people that are big into cloud production, do the 80-20, 90-10. 70-30 was always plenty for me. But also, you know, falling in love with our flavors is really what helped me believe in our brand and, you know, really, you know, helped me push and work towards the future.
Yeah, and you know what else I kind of noticed outside of like your branding and stuff that I thought was cool when we had been doing previous like sound tests and stuff. I noticed this in our office. I noticed this in your office, that it's this very like very calm environment. Everything's really chill. People can listen to music, and it's also like the culture of being in it and working with it, because it is such a young industry, is really enjoyable, I think, for people who actually work for, I don't know if you feel this way, Tyler, but people who actually work for the vape companies. I know myself, I wouldn't be able to do like half of this stuff at a normal cubicle in an office somewhere, you know? And you know, you got the ability to kind of like everybody's a little bit like younger into the game. Everybody's kind of on a community aspect. Everybody kind of knows each other. So I think that all of that, between whether you work in the industry, whether you're a consumer, it's just this heavy community aspect. So
yeah, it's a great combination of kind of getting all, you know, if you're going to build a juice company, there's going to be a lot of similarities to what you would experience normally in the business world. It just so happens to be in an industry made up of people that are a lot more relaxed, and that's what I love about it. You know, we're doing all the same stuff that any other small business would as they start to grow, as far as marketing, branding, new products. We have all the same small office problems that you would in in any other companies, but
he's like, no, we don't.
No, it's frustrating.
Meaning Ben wants to kill me most of the time. No, but yeah, but then also at the same time, the industry is made up of a lot of people that are just, you know, down to earth, good people, and usually people that have, you know, turned to vaping for a transition or something, you know, a way to change their own life.
Definitely, I would agree. And then you got the community, you got the passionate aspect of it, where it's genuinely making people's lives better. And it's just, I think that's where the success is, even among company to company. It's very everybody's like friends with each other. It's crazy. So outside of like branding and stuff, it seems like you guys, you know, I think what sets a lot of companies apart, specifically in any industry, but specifically in this industry, is the customer and how they're treated and how they feel at the end of the day, not just the actual product and whether or not they like it, but kind of the institution itself. So outside of branding and all that stuff and flavoring, what are you guys doing to encourage trial and loyalty to your brands?
So I think that's one that's, I mean, that's a core competency of every company that you really have to be good at. It's also the hardest thing to do because you can never please everybody, unfortunately. So we've had our hits and we've had our misses, and you know, obviously we have, you know, live chat on our website, so you can come chat with us at any time. We have a customer service phone line. You can call us at any time. We have a very nice person on the other line. She's, hello, how can we help you? You know, what do we do wrong now? Or what do we do great now? We get that too. And we just do our best to make sure that you as a, you know, the end of the day, our whole goal for a company is to provide a better quality product that you enjoy. So if we don't hit that home run every single time, we want to take care of it. We do our best to make sure that the product arrives, you know, perfectly intact. You know, USPS sometimes.
Yeah, I hear that.
Unfortunately, we don't want to charge you $20 to ship it for FedEx either. So, you know, like, we do our best to make sure that it gets there. Obviously, we manufacture in a way that's clean room environment, ISO certified, all of that. So we really want the experience to match the juice. We want the best juice that you've ever had, but we also want the experience with our company, whether it's shipping times, whether it's customer service, whether it's fixing the, you know, the one thing that we are is human, which means there's going to be errors, but you know, we want to fix it. So if you ever have an issue with us, we're there, whether it's on email, whether it's on live chat, whether it's on phone line, whatever it is, we want to fix it. We want you to take the time to reach out to us and let us know what it is that we did that we need to improve on, how it is that we can help you with your experience better. And obviously, by and large, we've done really, really well at it. But it's something we always are working to improve on, because you're never good enough at your customer service, ever. It's never good enough. So we're always looking for new ways to be able to be there for the end consumer, to reach out to us, to tell us how we can, how we did great, how we can improve. At the end of the day, the product is for you guys, and it's your product. We just happen to make it. So what can we do to give you a better flavor, to give you a better experience, to give you better packaging, to give you better whatever it happens to be? It's your product. Just tell us, and we will make sure that it comes to you that way. We are, that's one thing Tyler can tell you, because when he came on, our packaging was a little differently. There was a lot of things that we did a little different. It used to be in glass bottles. Now it's in chubby gorillas. As a company, we evolve very, very quickly based off of what you, the consumer, want. What's going to be the best experience to you? People don't want to carry around a glass bottle anymore. They want a nice, easy to use chubby gorilla that's not going to break if they accidentally drop it. Okay, we got it for you. All of our products from 15 all the way to 120 are in chubby gorillas. So it's a very, very symbiotic relationship that we try to have with our end user, between we will manufacture something we think is amazing, but then we'll take what you guys tell us and create something, take the input and evolve it to where now when it comes to you guys, you're like, yeah, this is what we like. It's perfect packaging, perfect bottle, flavors on. It's my new all-day vape. I'm vaping with you guys for the rest of, the time I vape. That's what we want.
Awesome. Tyler, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, I think Ben said enough. Obviously, customer service is very important. And I mean, for us, it just kind of comes down to, if we weren't seeing, double-digit growth month to month, then maybe we'd feel like we really need to change something. But we've made it a focus from the start, to make our customers happy and do whatever it takes. Even when at times we've grown, too fast for our own good. And then, at that point, it just comes down to, if we've got so many orders coming in, so many orders to the point that some of them we're having, we're struggling to get, an order there on time. So happens maybe once or something. And obviously we go back and we say, hey, look, how can we remedy this? Let's get you a free bottle of juice or something like that. And I think when you focus on doing things like that, and making every customer happy no matter what, I mean, that's why you're going to continue to grow. So I think
absolutely. Oh no, I would 100% agree with that. And what's different? You guys are the first people to actually kind of say adaption. Because usually when I'll ask something similar along this question to see kind of what companies do outside of making their juice delicious and outside of the branding and the nice packaging to maintain their customers. And usually people say customer service, which you guys did. But fast adaption, that's actually the first that I've heard of that. I think that's a huge difference between, like you said, people were doing glass bottles. Now people don't want to do that. We've got smaller devices. Let's carry a chubby on us instead, so we don't have to worry about it breaking or leaking, because we know that this is going to be easier in our pocket or our bag or whatever. But yeah, you guys are actually the first out of a lot of the manufacturers that we've had to say that quickly adapting is kind of another way that you draw or keep customers, and I should say. So that's extremely interesting. We have a person in the chat, Justin Lyons, saying, speaking as a new vapor, it seems hard to find out if a company is reliable. I don't see a Reddit or an ECF on your company. Do you guys have any specific social media handles for your lines? I know that Vape Craft may not necessarily have an Instagram, but for instance, I know Bombshell does. So
Vape Craft does.
Can you Can you guys just drop a few of those handles?
Yeah, actually, if you just pretty much any kind of social media out there, whether it's Skype or Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, you name it, Vape Craft Inc. Check it out. Reddit, obviously, I mean, it's Reddit. You have your great days, and you have your days where, it's Reddit. But yeah, we're definitely out there. Just check Vape Craft Inc. all over the place. The lines are underneath it. So the main company is Vape Craft Inc. That'd be where you'd find them all. On Instagram, I think we have about 20,000 followers now. Reddit, we have our own individual user channel because we've done enough on there. So there's a lot on the social media aspect of it. There's a lot of engagement you can find out there. And then obviously YouTube. Check out YouTube. Anything you want to know about us, check out YouTube. There's a lot of videos on our product, people reviewing it. We're also, another thing we're working with right now, just to take time to get the product in front of the end user, is Vape Box and Sample Box. Between the two of those, we've sent out about 150,000 30 mils samples in the last 2 months. So that's another thing where, if you check out Sample Box or Vape Box, both of them great companies. They got some good products there. You'll find our products in their boxes. You get to try them out, all of them. It's a really, it's another good way. So we also, going back to your previous question, as far as that experience, like if there is other social media, or if there's other user engagement that the end user, you guys are end users, want us to be a part of, support at vapecraftinc.com. Drop us a line. Let us know what it is. Bill over there in marketing would love to hear from you guys. Love to know what he can do to reach out to you better, to engage more. He sits there all day long just to engage with you guys and find out what we can do better, get feedback from you guys. So drop us a line and let us know what we can do to help out.
I hope that answered your question, Justin. He said, very encouraging, great to hear, thank you. So he's going to go look you guys up. And then if you guys have any other recommendations for them regarding social channels, or if you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the chat, drop them in the comment if you're watching this after the live show, and we'll make sure that they get over, or you can drop them a line personally, you guys. And I know that we had someone else ask another question in here. I'm sure that they will ask it again. Oh, here we go. Just kidding. Not a question, but Joshua Baldwin says he got one of yours in a sample box, actually. So
nice.
Thanks you for that. Quick, easy. So, so what other e-juice companies, and some people will be like, oh, we love them all, and you guys can do that if you want, but do you guys have any other e-juice companies that you particularly look at and admire on, that maybe aren't necessarily any of your lines or personal friends?
Well, I think there's a lot of really, really, good companies out there that are doing it right. There's a lot of good flavors that are with companies that I wouldn't recommend just because of how they take care of their customers. So if I were to answer that question, I think I would do it on the company aspect of it. American Juice Co. I'm out here in Texas, meeting them right now. Joe over there used to be J Juice, and they were U Juice. Now they're American Juice Company. They're great. They have some great flavors. Definitely check them out. But then there's ones, like obviously ejuice.co, ejuice.com. It's fun to work with you guys. You guys have a great platform that allows for your customers to, learn more about us, learn more about you, educate. So that's the right way to do things. Mount Baker Vapor, they have all of our lines there. They have some great juice themselves. There's some, John down there at Hexome Vapor, obviously OG in the industry, has some awesome products. Vape Wild, Tysher over there at Vape Wild, they're doing it right too. So super, super, super compliant over there. So there's some really, really some good companies out there that care about their end user, that are doing the right thing, that are just, I would say definitely buy from them too. And we like to work with them. I just got to have lunch with Tysher today and talk about some of the FDA compliance stuff and how they're doing it. Because there are a lot of the TPD compliant overseas and stuff like that. They have a lot of input there. So that's that whole working together thing. They could have told me where to put it, because we're kind of direct competitors. But at the end of the day, they didn't. They worked with us. We worked with them. It's the right way to do things.
Awesome. Tyler, did you have any that you personally admire?
No, yeah, I was going to say shout out Matt Hancock over there at eJuice who got setting this up. Yeah, I mean, we're all about partnerships. That's how it's been ever since I started. That's how it was before I even got there. But yeah, I mean, we work with Vape Ranger, and there's just, as we kind of talked about from the start, there's just a lot of good people in the industry. The guys I work, with over at Mount Baker Vapor are really, really good. And ultimately people do business with people they like and who they trust. So we've been fortunate to get in with the doors we have, and we're fortunate to have the products that we have. But we're just taking it day by day and forming new long-term partnerships, every month.
Another really cool set of guys that we're working with right now is, Paul and David over there at Elevate Lifestyles. They got that FJ's brand. I'm sure everybody knows FJ's. So we work with them together on the Stunna line. So those are another, two guys that we have a lot of fun with. We want to kill once in a while, and they want to kill us once in a while. But at the end of the day, we have a lot of fun. There's some good guys, some good girls in this industry, and you're starting to see them because they're the ones. A few years ago, when I first got into the industry, it was straight up Wild West. Do whatever you want, do for you. There was no professionalism at all. It's definitely evolved now. A lot of those companies are gone because more and more the end user the market is correcting. It's saying we want good juice, but we want it done right. And that's who's left in our industry. And so it's all about partnering with those, having a good relationship with them. Well, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's a very small group at the top. And you can destroy a brand if you don't work together properly, or if you do something shady or whatever. So I like that about this industry, that we can really, really work with other people to provide something to our end users that's quality. That's what it all comes down to, is show them a quality, healthy product, a good lifestyle, something you can be excited to work with, carry around, vape on, talk to your friends about. That's important.
And now you got a line with Birdman, right? You guys are working with Birdman. You never know where life's going to lead you, right?
And I don't even, it's crazy because everybody gives me a hard time. They're like, Ben, you don't even listen to rap music. Like, yeah, well, I'll learn.
he still gets mad respect. So I haven't heard the Birdman since I want to say 08, 09, but I mean, I didn't even know he was a vapor. That's so cool. But
yeah, it's really, really exciting.
You never know where life's going to lead you, I guess. But
right.
Or the people that, especially, I didn't think I was going to end up in the vape industry, but here I am. So we got a question in the live chat from Justin Lyons, who said, where would you guys envision your company a year from now? I know that a lot depends on the FDA rules, but will you guys continue putting out new flavors?
So it's, it's just something that is super important. So a year from now, we are going to be right on the road to compliance for 2022, just in case. Obviously, we did a lot of stuff prior to August, of 2016, as a lot of companies did, to get a lot of other things on the market that we've just held in reserve so that we can continue to bring out new products and to, feature new things, to provide new experiences, to rotate new things through. But, obviously there's a lot of new things coming up that we as manufacturers have to do. Those labels we talked about earlier, ingredient submissions to, disclose exactly what's in it, starting to put ourselves, we were actually as a company on pace to be compliant by 2018 with the original stuff before they moved the date. So we will continue down that path. We'll continue working with the FDA, with the lawyers that are, facilitating the give and take between them to make sure that, Vape Craft is going to be here for a while. We're, like I said earlier, we're not a hype juice. We're not a juice that's going to, just throw some stuff out there, say whatever it takes to get your money, and then we're going to disappear into the background. We're an all-day vape company. We're going to be here for a long time, so we're going to do what it takes on the compliance side and on the customer service, customer experience side of it to be here for a long time. Next year, in April next year, let's sit down and chat again. That's the kind of company we want to be. We want to come back and talk to you some more. And how was the last year? This is what we did. This is what we're going to do for the next year. And, just every year come back for, till you and I retire. We'll talk about vaping.
Woo! And so I hope that answers your question, Justin. I think I'm looking forward to whatever you guys have in the future. It sounds like you guys are prepared, which was one of my questions, but it already sounds like you guys are prepared for the upcoming, imminent regulations that are going to be upon us, that already are upon us and are going to continue to be upon us shortly. But, I'm going to take a moment to just reiterate the giveaway because we got it coming up real quick. And then I've got a couple more questions for you guys in wrap up and everything. So to reiterate, I know that a lot of you guys in the live chat came in a little bit late, or you might have come in during the show, maybe like halfway. So I'm just going to let you know we're having our giveaway. We're going to be selecting the winners at 7:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 15 minutes from now. So wherever you're located, whatever time it is there, 15 minutes from now, we're going to be drawing that winner. You must be present in the live chat to be considered. We have 3 winners. So I'm going to be drawing those names. If you are not here in the live chat and you don't say, hey, I'm here, I'm in the live chat at the time of the drawing, we're going to have to invalidate your drawing so that we are fair to the people who are in the live chat on the show right now. So I'm going to go ahead and list off one more time for you guys what those prizes are in this giveaway. And then we're going to do some wrap up stuff. So if you guys have any last minute questions that you want to ask Ben or Tyler about Vape Craft, about themselves, about the industry, feel free to drop them in the chat. We're going to do the giveaway, do some closing comments to wrap everything up. So in that giveaway, winner number 1 is going to receive a 100 ml of liquid gold by Paradise.
120 mil, 120 mil.
120 mil. Did I say 100 mil? 120 mil of liquid gold, 20 extra mils, you guys. And then you're also going to get a bottle of Sugar Melon from their budget brand, and then a bottle of their Salt Kings 30 milliliter right there. Use that. That's one of them right there. Salt Kings, you guys. And then winner number 2 is going to receive Audrey from the Bombshell brand, and that's Audrey, like Audrey Hepburn. You can see her pretty little face right there on that sweetly branded bottle. Love that. I love the aesthetic of that. And then you're also going to get 30 Love, which is another bottle from their budget line, and then one of the Salt King flavors of your choice in a 30 milliliter bottle. And finally, our 3rd place winner is going to receive a bottle of Marilyn Monroe from the Bombshell collection, as well as a flavor called Cafe Mocha from the budget line, and then finally a Salt King flavor of your choice, as I said. So what I'm going to need you guys to do after I select the winners, be sure to shoot an email over to ejuicescom@gmail.com. I will repeat that, and I will put it in the chat so that we can get you guys your prizes and everything sent over to you ASAP. So Ben, Tyler, I know that we talked about kind of what are you guys doing in the future and stuff. You mentioned that you've got some collaborations. Are there any collaborations that we can expect in the future that you haven't already kind of like revealed throughout the show? And if you want to keep them on the DL, it's fine.
You never know. Let's just say Birdman's not the only one on Cash Money Records, so let's just say there's some God's plan in the future there. So there's some exciting stuff coming up.
All right, let's see. I'm going to see. I think we had another question in the chat for you guys. There's so many people. I have to. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Nope, it's lost in there somewhere. Oh, here we go. Christine wants to know, what is the best VG PG level when it comes to flavor, cloud blowing? What are the adjustments, like why those specific levels?
Obviously, pretty much the industry standard for your middle of the road is 70-30. It's that really, really good mix between giving you a cool, large, flat, cloud. You can do your vape tricks and stuff like that, but still keeps a lot of flavor. Cloud chasers are going to use that, 80-20 or, max VG. But we found that to give you the best experience, 70-30 is. Start there. Then, play around with it. Maybe get a 60-40. Try it out. Maybe go the other direction. Just test them out. Get like a 15 mil sampler. Try it out both ways so that you can see for your own flavor taste. Because obviously, it does affect it when you start going in different directions as far as the flavor versus the cloud and stuff like that. So your best middle of the ground, 70-30.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for answering that. 7:30, like you said, best middle of the ground. And then Tyler, I think you mentioned earlier that you used to kind of crank it up a little bit more or crank it up to like 80-20 when you were trying to get clouds, correct?
I mean, Well, there's a lot of things to consider, right? So you've got your device and what wattage you're pumping. So if you're on one of the small systems like this on little Swarens, obviously it's not pumping out a whole lot of wattage, so you're not going to get a whole lot of clouds, but it's also higher concentrated nicotine. So it's good for like your nicotine fix vapors and stuff like that. If you're using a sub ohm, which I also have one of those as well, it definitely depends on what wattage you're at, but the higher VG level it is, it's technically the more clouds that you're going to get. But 70-30 is more than enough. I mean, unless you're really getting into serious tricks and stuff like that, you might use a little bit higher blend. Other than that, you're good.
Awesome. So Christine, I hope that answered your question on the different ones, different levels, how that might affect cloud / flavor. So Tyler, actually you brought it up earlier. I know you shouted out Matt Hancock, who works with us. He's been in the past 2 live shows we've had. Actually, we did an anniversary show on the 20th. It was our company's 5th anniversary, 5. So we had him on that one. We had him on this one. Oh my God, actually today is my year anniversary at eJuices. I just realized. So,
Congratulations.
I started 3rd, 2017. But how did you and Matt happen to link up? Because I ended up reaching out to you guys because he was like, oh, I love Vape Craft. They carry so many lines with us. And he was like, oh, you know, like my bro Tyler, blah, 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 like had all these great things to say about you. So how did you?
How much did you pay him, Tyler? There's all between you two. What did you pay him?
I don't know. Listen, I like annoy Matt every single day of my life. Like I go into his office and I'm just like, I just shake my head at him and I'm like, it's not good enough. What you're doing is not good enough. So I give him
You and Tyler will get along just fine.
No, I mean, I don't want to say it was fate, but I mean, kind of. I just when I was first starting, you know, obviously we were trying to get in with a lot of the big websites to get our products up there, and Matt was one of the first dudes I spoke to, and it just sort of blossomed from there. And he took over the account, and you know, hopefully when the time that he's CEO, he won't forget about me. You know?
Right. Hopefully. And you said you're taking a trip out to Vegas soon, actually, correct?
Yeah, I am. I'll be out there for Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll have to meet up and you'll have to let me try you'll have to let me try some of these flavors. Ben's just like, no, God, no, shaking his head underneath.
I am not getting you off a rooftop. If you end up on a rooftop, screw the tiger. You're done.
Screw the tiger.
I'm leaving you there, buddy. Sorry.
At least the hat will keep you from the sunburn. You won't be like at the beginning of The Hangover where he's like all charred up.
Yeah. Mike Tyson can keep the tiger. Staying on the roof. I'm staying home.
Not going to save him from Tyson either.
Hey, as long as I have my vape, I'm good.
Nope.
We have people in the chat talking about I don't know if Matt's watching right now, but if you are watching Matt Hancock, there are people in the chat saying you're a charmer. So
yeah, he is.
You guys got some fans, but so I just a couple more questions before we got this giveaway. I know we're doing it in about 7 minutes, but what do you guys think is one of the most misunderstood aspects of the e-juice manufacturing end of things?
Well, the manufacturing side of it, I mean, I think that there's some in the industry don't really understand just how, when done right, how simple and clean your product is. I mean, it's 3 ingredients. It's VG, it's PG, and it's flavoring, and some nicotine, depending on what level you're at. So if it's done right, it's a very, very, take the nicotine out, you can put it on your food and eat it. There's nothing wrong with it. So, I mean, I guess that because a lot of other companies do some fun stuff with the product at the end of the day, I think that maybe there's some misunderstandings as to how safe and how quality this product is and can be when done right. Like it's a very, very clean, safe, healthy product when done right, obviously.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. And I think that outside of just, you know, like the clean, everything being done right, it's that, like you said, people know what the ingredients are. Like people know what they're getting. People know that it's clean. And I think above all else that you've got premium e-juices, right? You've got like, people know what they're getting. They're getting its premium. They're ready to go. Like they're 100% like sure what's in there. You're not finding any of like the weird little like things in in the bottle or anything. I think when it comes to like not just ingredients, but like steeping and stuff, people can tend to be like, used on that. Do you guys, speaking of which, that was actually one of my earlier questions, do you guys have a specific steeping process, or is that a secret? Because I know some companies, it's like that's their secret. So
it's a little mix of both. Obviously, our pre-steeped juices, we steep it for you guys. A lot of our budget stuff right now is unsteeped. So we allow you to mix and match some stuff on your end as well when you're getting your plain juices. Now what we are is we are implementing a process right now where within the next couple of weeks here we're actually going to be putting about where your juice is always at least a month steeped whenever it comes to you, which is it's your nice aged wine now. It's going to be on point no matter what when you buy it. So we have some processes coming in, but that is one of those things that's another one of those, if you don't understand it, things about the industry is vape has this arc where it's let it steep a little bit and it becomes amazing. And then, it can start losing it as it goes down. So obviously we try to make sure that especially on the premium side, when you get those products, that they come to you where it's ready to go. It's at that perfect apex point where it's steeped long enough where it's perfect, but not steeped too long where it's starting to lose its flavor.
Top of the bell curve,
so,
right?
Yep, perfect.
So have you guys gotten any sort of special recognition by any organizations for any of your products thus far, other than on here us telling you how awesome you are?
Spin Fuel, the Bombshell line that you like so much, won a bunch of Spin Fuel awards for that.
Oh, awesome!
So yeah, we've got a lot of good reviews. The cool thing with like Sample Box, when you send out that many flavor samples, the whole process behind Sample Box is that you get reviews. Obviously if you don't have a good product, you can get killed. We're at across all of our premium lines, I want to say our average right now is either 4.7 or 4.8 stars out of 5 stars, which to put that many flavors out there and have that good of returns across the board is for us was very, very exciting. Because when you have 15 different premium flavors, actually I think it's up to 16 now that they're putting out 45,000 bottles at a time of, the probability is that possibly one of them doesn't come back well, but 5 stars, 4.9 stars, 4.8 stars. Yeah, it's really, really exciting. So that's another one of those just for us was really reaffirming that what we're doing is people like it because you tried it and you said it's awesome. So that's what we want to hear. That tells us that interaction, going back to what we were talking about before, with where we evolve and interact with our end consumer and then change it up based off of what they want. It's telling us that we've got something right, that we're doing it on the right path, that they're enjoying what we're doing, and we'll continue. Like I said, live chat, emails, phone calls. We're always here. We want to hear from you. It's your product. We just happen to make it. So if there's something that we can do a little bit better, something we can tweak just a little bit to make the delivery better, whatever it happens to be, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, and one thing I guess I'll chime in there a little bit is, it is great to get recognized, but ultimately at the end of the day, what we wanted to focus on is first having quality product and having good customer service. So the recognition comes because of that, and we're just grateful.
And I think that, so did you guys win? And that was a question that I had earlier on, because it seems like you guys still have a really good sense of the environment. You have a lot more lines. You're trying to make it really customer based. How long has Vape Craft Inc. actually been around itself?
In vapecraftinc.com format, we started 2 years ago in January, so about 2.5 or 2.25 years now, or December, sort of. We launched in Christmas of 2015.
Oh, wow. Wow,
yeah,
so you guys have come up really quick then, real
very, very quickly. It has a lot to do with, when you provide a quality product at an affordable rate and you keep your margins small so that the end consumer can get more vape. That's appealing to a lot of people. I don't need to get rich off of, an individual person having to give me, a crazy amount of money for a vape juice. It's not the way it's supposed to be. This is supposed to help them out. So we want to make sure that you get your good quality vape, that you can vape all day, that you love. And then in the long term, we'll, work together for a long term, because everything's a partnership, whether it's with you guys on the wholesale side or whether it's that individual end user who comes and buys one bottle. It's a partnership. I provide a product to you that you love, and then you keep coming and getting it. If I don't provide that to you, you're not going to keep coming back. Because we've kept that mindset involved, obviously that's allowed us to grow really, really quickly, because that's popular to people that we actually care about them. That we actually, everybody in our company is a vapor. We all are somebody who, this is a product we use ourselves. It's helped ourselves. A lot of my staff, my partner, they used to smoke. They don't smoke now. They vape. So it's something that's affected our lives positively. So that's the whole genesis behind Vape Craft, was that, like we talked about way back at the start, Vapors Anonymous. It's a safer, healthier alternative that provides a good quality U.S. ingredient-based product to the end consumer in a FDA compliant, clean room environment, at a price you can afford. I think that's what our industry really needs. I think it needs companies doing it the right way, working together, providing that, and then, we're all going to succeed.
And I think that not just your customer base, but even this live chat is a testament to how popular you guys are. So thank you so much for answering all these insightful questions, you guys. It is actually giveaway time right now, so I'm going to need a drum roll for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and draw the winners, and then we're going to post them right up there in the live chat. Woo! All right, if you guys are in the chat, say I am here. If you don't say you're here in the chat, we're going to have to redraw and find another winner who was in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those right now. And I am going to announce them on that giveaway widget in just a second. So I have pulled the names, you guys, and once I get them up, I will announce them. So winner number 1 is Chad K. Congratulations, Chad K.
Yeah, Chad.
You're going to get some liquid gold. You're going to also get a beautiful, delicious flavor called Sugar Melon from their budget line. And then finally, a Salt King flavor out their line. When you email in, we'll go over which one of those Salt King flavors you want. So go ahead and Chad, let us know if you're in the live chat and shoot it.
There's Chad.
There he is. Chad, go ahead and shoot us an email at ejuicescom@gmail.com so that we can get you your prize tomorrow morning. Winner number 2 is Lori D. Congratulations, Lori.
Yes.
If you are in the live chat, say that you are here. Lori, you are going to receive Audrey from the Bombshell collection, 30 Love, one of the flavors off their budget line, and another Salt King flavor of your choice. When you email in, we'll go over that, and then you can choose. So Lori, go ahead, say if you're in the chat, and shoot us an email at ejuicescom@gmail.com.
Lori's there. There's Lori.
All right, and finally, number 3, we got Eric S. Eric S., congratulations.
All right, Eric.
Winner. Let us know that you're in the chat. You are going to receive Maryland, and you're also going to receive a bottle of Cafe Mocha. And finally, you're going to get a 30 milliliter bottle from Salt Kings. We're going to you can pick which flavor. So all 3 of you guys, let us know that you're in the chat. Shoot me an email at ejuicescom@gmail.com. Thank you to everyone who participated. And thank you to Vape Craft, you guys. Thank you for providing us with such awesome giveaway items. So congratulations to all the winners. Thank you guys to everyone in the chat. Tyler, Ben, do you guys have any closing comments for our audience? Anything about yourselves, about Vape Craft, about the industry in general that you'd like to say?
Tyler, you want to go first?
Go ahead, Ben.
No.
No, just thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure. We'll keep doing our best to provide, the highest quality products for good price. And throw in a little good customer service in there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's just really exciting to be able to be in a position to have this conversation with you guys, to be able to, it's a great way for us to be able to talk directly with you guys as, the end consumer, kind of share a little bit about, see the faces behind the juice, see we're real people just like you, see Tyler vaping away over there on our juice while we're doing this. We're excited to be part of this community. As a company, we're really, really committed to making sure that the vape industry is here to stay, that it's done properly, that as a company, we do things right, and as an industry, we do things right, so that you can know that when you go and you get a bottle off the shelf in any shop, whether it's ours or somebody else's, obviously we want it to be ours, that it's, a safe, quality product for you, with a company that actually cares about you, which is a rarity. Obviously, no matter what industry it is, there's a lot of companies that just don't really care about their consumer. They just give them a product and want their money. We actually, try to put back into the community, be through the, the advocacy, through the giveaways, through just, having a juice that you can afford, for a lot of it. So we're excited to be part of this community, and thank you for, without the end consumer, without you guys, we aren't here. We're not having this conversation, so we are who we are because of you guys. So thank you for everything that you guys, for supporting us all these years. And, I look forward to coming back and chatting with, on here and, talking about the industry some more, next year and the year after and the year after. We'll just, every year in April, we'll get together and have a chat about it. How's that?
Yeah, we got a 2019 show and see where we're at then. But
Perfect.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Tyler. You guys have been amazing guests. Thank you in answering all of our questions. To everyone who's watching this, if you're watching it after the show has already aired live, if you have questions for Tyler and Ben, you can go ahead and drop them underneath the video in the comments. You can email them personally. They drop their email a few times throughout the show, or we'll make sure that the questions get over to them. So
thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll be back same time next week at 6 p.m. And have a good night, and good night to you guys, Tyler and Ben.
Thanks, Tina.
Have a good night, everyone.